you? I'm Pia. Welcome to the start of a new weekly reading vlog. This reading vlog has a bit of a twist to it. So I recently, a video came up on my Explore page, For You page, something, whatever YouTube's algorithm calls itself. And it was people deleting social media and seeing how much they could read. And it kind of gave me pause because I was like, wait, what is the longest I have gone without going on social media? And when I really couldn't say if it's been more than a day, I had to really question my sanity. I was like, have I ever taken a break from social media? I don't think I have. And I feel like that's really bad for me. And I know it's really bad for me because I try to limit my social media when I tend to have the brain goblins, have the things going on in my life. I try to stay off my phone. So if I know it's bad for me, why do I keep doing it? So this week I am going to really limit my social media. It's Instagram. Instagram is the culprit. I'm going to try not to use Instagram as little as possible, and we're gonna see how much I can read while doing that. I'm not gonna actually delete the app because I don't know if I know my passwords. So I'm gonna keep the app, but I'll see how many times I pick it up because I have already picked it up a couple times today. It's Monday. And then at the end of the week, we'll see how many times I picked it up, how long I spent on it compared to a normal week, which will be last week, which I spent so much time on social media. Anyway, so let's get into what I'm currently reading. It's really exciting. I'm reading Emily Wilde's Map of the Other Lands. I'm nearly done with it actually. I just didn't end up finishing it yesterday. So I will probably finish that up today. I'm really enjoying it. I'm actually liking it. I say I'm liking it more than the first one. I think I am. I think I'm liking it more than the first one, which is surprising to me because I feel like people didn't like it as much as the first one, but I'm actually liking it more. I feel like there's more of a direction to the story, and I already know the characters pretty well, so I'm liking it a lot. It's on my little iPad, Kindle, whatever. I really do have to dive back into Rhythm of War. I'm still 600 pages through it, halfway, so I would like to get a little further in this, but I don't need to finish this week, so I'm just gonna try to get a little bit further into it, and I'm not sure what else I'm gonna pick up this week. We shall see. Might need to do a little trip to the library at some point. Last time I was at the library, I was just returning books, so I don't really have any library books right now, which is very rare for me. So maybe we'll go to the library this week and see what they've got. Other than that, what else is going on this week? We have wine night. I have some weekend plans, and yeah, we will see how the week fares. I'm hopefully getting fingerprinted again. Fingerprinting, yay! If you have been following my trials and tribulations, you would know that it's been a difficult process. But right now I'm going to quickly head out to Target to pick up a few things because I have no food in the house. Then I have to do some editing of last week's vlog. So that's what I'm gonna be doing today. Friends, I have a reading update for you, and as I showed you, I started crocheting. So I forgot to mention that I was reading Emily Wilde's Map of the Other Lands on the ebook, but then I switched to the audiobook because I've been crocheting. I had how many? I had 5 things of yarn to roll into balls because if you didn't know, you have to they come in schemes, but you have to roll them and untangle them before you should start, or it's responsible to do it that way. So I had to do that, and literally one of them took me 4 hours. And I have little cuts on my fingers from the yarn scratching against my fingers. Anyway, I did finally start crocheting. I mentioned it in a different video, but I'm making just a giant granny square to fold into an envelope to make a laptop case. And this is what we have so far. I'm really liking these colors. They're really pretty. I'm very much enjoying them. The green and the blue look really similar. That's the only thing I don't love, but anyway. So I finished Emily Wilde's Map of the Other Lands, and I gave it 5 stars. I honestly like this a lot more than the first one. Am I hiccuping? What's going on? I like this a lot more than the first one. I think I gave the first one 4 stars, granted, but I like this a lot more. I liked the development we got in the relationships. I liked the additional characters we met. I liked the setting. I just liked a lot about it, and I thought it was really well done, and I really did enjoy it. So I gave it 5 stars. Now I said I would move on to Rhythm of War, but I'm not going to do that because I want to do some more crocheting before I have to make dinner tonight. I need an audiobook, obviously, and I have have a few other audiobooks, but I decided, is this good for me? No. No, this is not good for me, but like I just want to read the scene in Normal People where they're in Italy, and in order to do that I have to reread Normal People. And you know what, is this good for me? No. I am going to reread Normal People because it takes me like 2 hours to reread this book. Like genuinely, it takes me like no time at all. So I am gonna listen to the audiobook because I've listened to the audiobook many times before, and I love it. And I'm just gonna listen to this. I need to feel something that's not like my current feelings, you know what I mean? Like I need to feel for other people, other characters, other things than myself, and I need to distract myself, and I think this is the perfect thing. Have I already reread this year? Yes, I have. And what about it? And what about it? It's so short, and I've read it so many times that I'm just like, I just want to be like reminded of these people, and you know, and I just want to read the Italy scene. TBH. Yeah, I'm not gonna read my annotated copy. I just looked at it and I was like, whoa, whoa, that's an annotation. But I'm just gonna listen to the audiobook, but I just pulled it out so I can show you my beautiful annotated edition. I love her. I inadvertently inspired someone else to read this book, and now I'm like kind of like forgetting what the content of this book is, and I'm like, was that a good idea? I don't know if that's a good idea. I don't know if it's a good idea for anyone to read this book, but I'm gonna reread it. I'm gonna read it. I'm also just like kind of in the mood for a read of a book in general, and this is just like one I tend to go back to. So I'm gonna pop on the audiobook and continue my crocheting my little granny square, and I'm just gonna do that for like a half hour until I have to make dinner. So that's the plan. If you haven't seen my last vlog, I put in like all these clips mostly from like 2021 to 2022. And it was so startling to see my bang evolution. I feel like I'm really, I mean, with the vlogs, I don't really care. But like when I go out, like I do my bang. But like, it's so funny to see just like what they looked like, what my hair looked like. It was so upsetting. Anyway, I just finished editing my last vlog, which if you saw, it was my Anne vlog, which like literally took me over like years to film. But I just finished doing that. And I did want to let you know that I finished a book yesterday. I finished another book. I did in fact read all of Normal People in one sitting, as I typically do. I was just like, I want to feel something. And I think I said that, but I listened to the audiobook and I crocheted because I'm currently just like really in an audiobook and crochet mood, which like, is that exciting for you? I don't know. I don't care, but I'm definitely going to get through a lot of books that way this week. That's just like what I'm feeling like doing. So anyway, I listened to the audiobook of this. This is one of my favorite audiobooks. It's one of my favorite books of all time. I don't really know what to say about it. I don't know what to say about this. I kind of forgot how like much trauma these characters go through. Like genuinely, like every bad thing that could possibly happen to a person happens to these two characters, and it's so intense. Like it is crazy. I mean, I think it's less intense because of the way that this book is written, and it's kind of just like retelling after the fact. It's kind of like Beautiful World, Where Are You? But just like retelling after the fact to the direct-to-reader audience. So it's not like in the moment, you're not like in these scenes of like these horrific things happening. It is still intense, I think. And I like every time I read this book, I'm like, I get why people don't like this book. Like I get it. Like, and I also get like why it's so like intensely works for me. Like it just like is so beautiful. There's a line that I like noticed for the first time maybe while reading this book, and like I've read this like 4 times. So I was like, there's a line where she's like kind of like looks like how music sounds or something like that. Like it's said better than that, but like I forgot like how like poetic some of the things are in this book, because you kind of just, I don't know, I just think about like, the raw nature of like what they're going through and like their experiences, but it is kind of like poetic and sometimes, and I think that's fun. And I honestly, it kind of makes me want to reread more of Sally Rooney's books, especially like with Intermezzo coming out, which I'm so excited about. Dude, I have done everything to try to get a copy of that, an early copy, and it's not worked, obviously. So I can't wait for Intermezzo to come out. So I was kind of like, should I reread Conversation with Friends? I don't know. I still might. Like, I think I'm generally like in a literary fiction mood, which is going to surprise you because I'm going to tell you the next book I'm going to read, and it's not a literary fiction. But I do have another book, which is going to be the next book after that I'm going to read, which is a literary fiction. But I do think I'm just like in a literary fiction mood, and I think I also like, I love a reread. Like, I never reread books, even though I have read this book twice this year, trust. Like, leave me alone. I hardly ever reread books, but I rewatch movies all the goddamn time. And I feel like I am missing out. I feel like I'm missing out because this just like, I read it super fast and I was like loving every second of it. And I was like, maybe I should reread books more often because I read so many books and I have a lot of like favorites out there that I've never reread. So it just made me think about that. Maybe this will end up being a reread vlog or a literary fiction vlog. I have no idea, but next book that I'm gonna read is not literary fiction and not a reread, so it's not any of those things. Like I said, I have been enjoying listening to an audiobook and crocheting because I'm working on a crochet project right now, and it's kind of just like really like, it's nice enough that like it's keeping my hands busy and like the audiobook is keeping my mind busy. I think those two things are really important, especially when I'm like doing a week like this where I'm not using my phone. It keeps me just like active in a way, not in the way that I run 5 miles every morning is active. But yeah, so I actually have not opened Instagram today, which we are 1:30 in the afternoon and I have not touched Instagram. I'm so proud of myself. But it is like genuinely so like eye-opening of how bad of an addiction I have to my phone is and like to social media, because like I don't even realize it, because all of yesterday I kept opening the app and closing the app because I was like muscle memory, just opening like mindlessly, and it's so stupid. So anyway, I think I'm gonna get a lot of reading done this week. This is just me like reiterating like I'm so happy to not be on social media because I'm already like feeling like a more grounded person like already. So I am gonna do some crocheting now. Hopefully my cat doesn't attack me because she does love yarn. But I'm gonna do some crocheting for a little bit. Since my video is done, I don't really have much else to do. Oh, I need to bake focaccia. Oh shit. Should I do that first? I might actually bake focaccia first. My weekly focaccia. If you follow the vlogs, you know I make a weekly focaccia. I'm gonna make my weekly focaccia and then start crocheting while it's like rising and baking and doing all of those things. And I'll start the audio. I didn't even tell you what I was gonna read. Oh god. It's so funny to me, like, because I just edited that video and like half of that video is from a year ago. It's so crazy to me to like see the difference in how I act, because like I've been on YouTube for 10 years. So like to me, like I act the same way I've always acted on camera, but like it is so different. Like it is so different. Maybe because I live alone now, but like, I mean, I hate to use the word demure, but like that was me like a year ago and that's crazy. Anyway, the book I'm going to start, which is a book I've already started actually. The book I'm going to continue is Bossy Pants, which is Tina Fey's memoir. If you don't know, I've been addicted to watching 30 Rock recently. If I have not been scrolling on Instagram, I have been watching 30 Rock. And I have been scrolling on Instagram and watching 30 Rock at the same time. Like, let's be honest. Let's be honest, I'm a multitasking queen. So I've gotten through 4 seasons of 30 Rock in like a week or two. Yeah. Anyway, so I'm gonna read Tina Fey's memoir because I like memoirs, and this is one I actually surprisingly haven't read, and it's a short book and I just want to pick it up. Like I already checked it out of the library, so I'm like, I gotta finish it. So that is gonna be my next audiobook. And then after I finish that, I want to read Good Material by Dolly Alderton, because I have been dying to read something by this author because like they just seem so up my alley. They're British and they like write funny literary fiction, so I'm very excited to read this book. So that's gonna be the book after I read Bossy Pants, if I don't update you, which I probably will. That's like the TBR so far. Am I gonna read Rhythm of War? Not in this economy. No, I just want like fun and silly. Well, normal people's not fun or silly. I'm gonna go make focaccia and I will be right back. Trying to get the bookshelves in because I just reorganized them. I don't know if I like how they're organized, but it's fine. So I got back from fingerprinting again. I keep getting the same guy and he's like, what are you doing here? But anyway, it kind of freaked me out. Just so awkward. Like I don't want to have like conversations with like, I don't want to know the guy that's doing my fingerprints. Like I don't want to have to like be there that often. Anyway, I did that. And then I went to Trader Joe's and then I baked some brownies. No, this angle is so stupid. Let me move it. Okay, and then I made some brownies. I baked some brownies for wine night tomorrow. Tomorrow's like our last kind of hurrah
of wine night. And now I finished a book. So I finished Bossy Pants by Tina Fey, and I'm giving it 3 stars. Okay, I don't like rating memoirs in general, so like take it with a grain of salt, okay? But I definitely think this was like one of the weaker memoirs that I've read. And not to say that like Tina Fey's a bad writer. I love Mean Girls. I love Mean Girls and I love 30 Rock. So it's not anything about that. It's just like it was so short, and like it felt like really impersonal, I guess, at times, because it was kind of just like, oh, this is what it's like to be on a photo shoot, and like this is what it was like to write this one specific sketch at SNL, and like it was just kind of like really like broad strokes of like a life, and it wasn't really like specific. And I just like didn't like it. Like it was funny at times, but like it wasn't like what I expect from a memoir, if that makes any sense. And there was also just like a lot of just like clapping back at her haters, which I just like don't think your memoir is the time and the place to do that. Like, do what everyone else does, get an anonymous fucking account and write back. Like, I just didn't like see, there was just like so much like hate on people who have like hated her, and she's like, suck it nerds, and it's like, okay. But like, did you just write a book to like say F you to everyone, or like is this like an actual, like, are you taking this seriously? And it's just like, I don't know, I don't think it was good. At the end of the day, I don't think it was good. I kind of changed my mind for what the next audiobook I'm gonna listen to, because I am sat here crocheting. And crocheting a giant granny square, whew. Like, I thought doing like 15, 20, however many granny squares I made for that hat, I thought that was like kind of tedious and like repetitive and not great. Going around and around this goddamn granny square, fucking crazy. Anyway, I was gonna read good material, but I think I'm going to not read that. I am instead going to pick up Reckless, because that is the sequel to Powerless. And as we know, I read Powerless semi-recently. I read it 2-3 weeks ago. I have no perception of time. August has flown by. I'm gonna read Reckless. Oh, Reckless. She went really fast there. So I'm going to read Reckless because I'm really excited about it. My friend who has read this series, or has read Reckless, told me I don't need to read the novella yet, so I'm gonna just read the sequel, Reckless, now, and then I'll read Powerful at some point. But I am really excited to like get back into this world, and like I had such a fun time reading Powerless that I'm just like really excited to read the next one. And I think like, I don't know if like it's just like the stands of this series like really like the sequel, or if like the sequel is actually really good. I don't know, but I feel like people love this series, and I'm getting to be a fangirl about it too. So I am going to start Reckless and continue to crochet for a little bit. I'm very excited because I got like the makings of a big salad at Trader Joe's, because I have not eaten a vegetable in a minute. That was bad of me, but you know what? We're adulting. I go to work next week. I'm being an adult now. I'm gonna have a big salad for dinner. Probably watch more 30 Rock. Did I tell you I watched a movie last night? Oh yes, I watched Practical Magic. I didn't give you my Practical Magic review. I watched Practical Magic for the first time, which is so silly because it seems like a movie I would enjoy because I love a good witch fall vibe. But it was really weird. Like, the pacing of the movie was so strange. The movie didn't start until like 30 minutes in, and then I thought it ended, and then there were still like 15-20 minutes left, and I was like, what is going on with the pacing of this movie? But it was like fun. It was weird. Like, aesthetically, it was beautiful. Stockard Channing. Ah! I love her. I love her. Actually, I'm gonna listen to her song from Grease right now. I love her. I'm gonna listen to the audiobook and do my crocheting. Will I ever physically read in this vlog? I have no idea. But you know what? I have not been on Instagram today. So go freaking me. I'm doing amazing. I'm doing so good with this challenge. There's so many little like flies in my apartment, and I don't know what to do about them. Because like, I'm a clean person. Like, well, I spend a lot of time cleaning, I feel, but like, I don't know what to do about it. Anyway, so I started Reckless yesterday, and I haven't read any of it today because I've just been, it's like 2. I've just been like cleaning and doing chores like all day, which is kind of what I do on Thursdays. But I did start Reckless, and I'm like 25% into it right now, and I'm really enjoying it, like without spoilers. I am really like obsessed with how like into like this relationship I am. Like I really love these 2 characters, and I love like the other books like can't say that they have an enemies to lovers. Like this is enemies to lovers. This is literally like knife at the throat enemies, and I'm obsessed with it. It's so good. There's so much like tension, and like especially like with how the last book ended, like I'm just like so interested to see what happens. Like I just don't know what the plot of this book is going to be, genuinely. Like other than like the like beginning, I have no idea where this is gonna go. So I'm really like interested to see what happens. I have like no predictions. I have no idea. Like I'm kind of like curious of like how we're gonna like get the gang back together, like what characters we're gonna have and like what the interactions are gonna be like, but like I don't know what's gonna happen, genuinely. And I'm really liking not like trying to figure it out because I think it's more fun. I'm gonna go back to crocheting for sure and listen to my audiobook, which is what I'm gonna do in a little bit. I have like a couple more cleaning things to do. They are doing something with the water, and so they shut off the hot water before 11 a.m. So that was really fun today. Other than that, it's wine night, so I'm excited to have the girls over and drink some gin and tonics, which is my favorite thing. Before that, I want to get some reading done. I have Rhythm of War out on my coffee table because like I want it to look at me and like stare me dead in the eyes and like make me read it, but I just have no like interest in reading that right now. I don't know, maybe that's bad. I'm just really like into my audiobooks and crocheting vibes. I don't think I could like listen to the audiobook of a Stormlight book. Like I think I would have, like I listen to the audiobook and read along, and I feel like I would have to look at the words in order to focus. Yeah, I'm just not like in the mood for that because I just like know how exhausting that is. So I am gonna keep reading Reckless. That's it. And crochet.
Hi friends, welcome to my kitchen. I'm moving out literally next week, so this is like the last moments of this apartment, which is kind of wacky. But anyway, I have to make dinner, which is why I'm in my kitchen. I am on a time crunch, but I need to update you on, I was about to call it powerless, Reckless, because I just finished it. I decided to read like most of this actually as an ebook because I got bored of crocheting, because that's what happens with me and my hobbies. I get bored. I finished Reckless, and I would have to say I don't remember like what my initial impressions were that I told you like for my first update, but this book dragged. This book was so boring. Like it like didn't have like a plot for like most of the book. And I was honestly just like kind of like bored. It was like meandering, and it just like didn't have like a goal to accomplish. Like we knew kind of like where we would be by the end of the book, but like everything in between was just like nothing happening, and it was just really boring. Like I was really like bored. And of course like there's still like the banter and there's still like the relationship and stuff that you're like rooting for, which is like fine, and it's like I guess it was like progressing or whatnot, but like I don't care. Like this had no plot. Like I just wanted more like stuff going on, because like what I really liked about the first book were like the trials and the balls, and like of course the romance is like, it's a romantasy, so like a lot of people are there for the romance, but like it was just the romance with kind of like a little bit of like little more backstory, I guess we got, and some context about stuff. Super vague. Other than that, I was like, what the hell was the point of this book? Like it was so like nothing happened, and I feel like it was just for like the romance girlies, just the people that were like there for the romance, which is fine, but like it was so like middle book syndrome. Like
I don't think I realized this was gonna be a trilogy. I didn't know, but like it definitely is giving like middle book syndrome, because like it's like the only like thing of note that happens in this book is literally like it happens in the last chapter. And then I'm like, oh shit, like what's gonna happen next? Like, okay, that's the thing that's gonna keep me reading or whatever. But like the whole book was just like developing the relationship. And I just don't know if I care that much. And I thought I really cared about this relationship, and I think I was wrong. I think I was bamboozled. I don't know, I just don't think I like care that much. But like, do I ever? Do I ever? I'm always like critiquing romance. I'm glad that's done. I honestly like kind of considered DNFing it because I was like so bored. But I do want to like I want to finish the series. Like I don't want to I guess I'm like interested in the payoff because I like the world. Like that's really like why I like it. And I know it's like kind of stolen from something else. Like it is kind of like it's like Red Queen or something. But like I like the world, and I feel like this one was like no plot, just vibes. And what's kind of funny is like that's I feel like what people were saying about the first book. And I feel like the first book had so much more plot and so much more going on. And this book also had the additional perspective of Kit, who's like the brother of the love interest, like the main protagonist, I guess. Every time we got to his perspective, I was like, why are we here? Like, literally, like, this adds nothing. I could skip this chapter. Like, it was just so, like, nothing. Ugh, this book was so nothing. It was so annoying. I don't know. It read fast, which was good. Like, it wasn't like particularly like hard to read or anything. Like it was just like bad. I just think it was like a bad book. Like it wasn't very good. It was kind of like what I honestly would have expected from the first book. Like it was, because I was like, the first book is bad in like a fun way, but this book was just bad. Like this book just was like, do you have an editor? Like did someone go over like this book? Because I don't think they did. So I honestly I think it's a couple of problems. Like I think it's the problem of second book. Like it's hard to write a like middle book in a series because like I don't know, I don't fucking know, I don't write series. Like what am I saying? So I think it's like a second book problem. I also think it could be like this is a series that's like coming out in quick succession. Like these books are getting written and published very fast, so they're not necessarily like the best quality, going through all the like quality assurances that other books maybe. So I think it's also like that problem, which is why I feel like this book and like the Fourth Wing books, they're just not that good. Like especially like the sequels, they're just not that good. So that's my thoughts on that book. I'm really excited to move on to a book that's not a fantasy, which is me also saying that I'm not reading Rhythm of War this week at all. I'm gonna start the Dolly Alderton book because I just feel like I really need a change of vibe, and especially since like that was just so disappointing, I need like something that's like just super different from that. So I'm not gonna be like comparing and being like, on reflection, Reckless was actually worse than I thought. Like I don't need to do that. I am making pizza right now. I'm currently flattening out the dough because I don't own a rolling pin. So gotta do things the old-fashioned way. I'm currently making pizza and I'm going out tonight. I'm going to a Harvard bar and I'm going out tomorrow doing something. God knows what. I'm not being like cryptic on purpose. I really just don't know what I'm doing, but I should have time during the day to read tomorrow. And that's probably what I will be doing because I am trying to kind of like read a lot this week. I don't know if I mentioned that because like my last week of summer and I want to be reading. I have like a couple like things to do for my job, which I'm gonna push to Monday because I start work on Tuesday. So on the bright side, Sabrina Carpenter's new album came out today, and if you haven't listened to it, what the heck are you doing? I'm gonna go listen to that and finish making my pizza, and I will talk to you all tomorrow. Okay, I'm hoping this is not gonna be the last clip of like the vlog, but I really have like no idea. It's Sunday, so I didn't film yesterday because I like, why can I not remember? Anyway, I don't think I read any yesterday, so that's probably why I didn't update. But I did start Good Material, and that's what I'm updating you on. So I'm like 20% into it. I just read a little bit. I'm not like super far. Okay, I think it's gonna be dual POV. This is like a literary fiction by Dolly Alderton, who like previously has written a lot of like nonfiction, which I haven't read. So it's kind of weird that I'm like diving into her fiction before her nonfiction because that's like mostly what she's known for. But it is like about a guy who's going through a breakup, and I think it's gonna be dual POV,
because there are 2 narrators listed on the audiobook. That's my only indication. But as of where I am, it's just been like the male perspective. And as much as I love that it's written by a woman, I just like don't want to read about a man like going through a breakup. Like I don't want to read about a man. Like I don't. So I'm like a little bit maybe bored. Maybe bored. Yeah, I don't know. I just like am not loving it so far. I do like the very like Britishness of it. I think that's like fun, and like I don't think a lot of literary fiction I've read has been British necessarily. I'm not loving it right now. I'm hoping that like it gets into a second perspective and we get like kind of dual sides of the breakup and the relationship, and like it goes maybe back and forth in time. We get to kind of see both sides of the story. That's kind of what I'm like hoping to get out of it, but I don't know if that's the case. That's if I wrote this book. I don't know if that's necessarily actually how it's gonna go, but that's what I'm hoping. I don't know how my day is looking so far. Right now I have to go soon. I'm going on a walk, but I don't know when I'm going to be back and if I'm going to be reading when I get back. So I'm not sure if I will get more reading done today. I do like want to get more into the book just because like I don't necessarily know like what the vibe is yet, and I don't know, like I said, I don't know if it's multiple perspectives. I don't know if it's like stuff like that. So like I want to like know more about it. I'm definitely intrigued to keep reading. I'm not going to DNF it or anything, like don't worry, but I'm not living it so far. But I don't know if I'm going to get to that today. Today's the last day of the vlog. I am doing a really good job of being off social media. Just like a quick update on that. I've definitely like accidentally opened it multiple times, but I haven't spent more than a minute, I think, every day on social media, which is like beautiful. I think it's really good of me. So I'm really happy about that. Yeah, I'm probably like doing better because of it, let's be honest. So yeah, I'm going to either update you later today or tomorrow to wrap up the vlog. So I will see you then. Hi besties, it is of course time for me to wrap up the vlog. So I didn't end up reading more of Good Material, but I did read it like the next day, and I'm not vlogging this week, so I am gonna give you like a little bit more of an update because I'm still kind of feeling the same way about Good Material that I was like in my previous clip, because like the main guy character is such a freaking loser, and like it's just like so annoying to be in his perspective. Like it's just so like dreary and like it's like self-hatred and like just like woe is me, and like that's just like really not a fun like thing to read about. I have like gone on Goodreads and like read reviews, so I do know that there is like the female perspective and it comes in like at the tail end of the book, so like that's honestly like why I'm gonna keep reading it, because other than that it would be a DNF. Like if it was just the male perspective, I would DNF it. Yeah. So I'm holding out hope that the female perspective kind of redeems it, but yeah, it's definitely not what I expected, and I'm definitely not liking it as much as I thought I would, which is disappointing. But I will give you an update on that eventually. I don't know, check my Goodreads for that. But it's time for me to wrap up the vlog, so I do hope you enjoyed it. I did such a good job of not being on Instagram. I did kind of like go on it more on Sunday, and I was kind of more like free with myself because I was like, the week is over, like all is well. But generally like I had like about a minute of Instagram time, and it was just for me like opening and closing the app from muscle memory. So I am like really happy about that I stayed off, and I do think it like benefited me. And I think I'm gonna like and generally just be more like conscious of like how I'm consuming social media and like what I'm doing in my free time, and also just like what I'm doing like without thinking, and just like think more about what I'm doing. Does that make sense? I don't know. So maybe we'll do another no social media week again in the future. I think it was beneficial. So anyway, I think this went well. We did read a lot of good books, did a lot of crocheting. So hope you enjoyed it. Make sure to like and subscribe, do all the things, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!